All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being present. Let's take a deep breath together. Before this live, my stomach was killing me. I said before this live. I mean, even now, but we're going to run it. We're committed to it. We got 4 p.m. on the schedule. So, the name of the game is to have that willpower and push through whatever it is that you are feeling. So right now we're feeling it. My head is hurting. We're a little bit low on energy, but in terms of because I just threw up literally right before this live, so we're a little bit late. But there's still so much to be grateful for. I just ate and drank, a mixture of things that don't mix well together. But I do feel a lot better since I threw up. So much to be grateful for, though. I didn't feel good at all, but we're gonna run it. So, without further ado, thank you all first and foremost for being here. I want everybody to go ahead and express what it is that they're grateful for. Before we do go ahead and get logged in. Shout out to my brother for tuning in until the wheels fall off. I'm excited for him to share his journey and his story and everything he's going to be doing as well too in the space. Let me see. Okay, blessings. And so let's dive right into the presentation. We've gone over this, the past couple of weeks. We're going to continue doing such throughout the rest of the year to show you guys and give you guys insight into the tax loopholes that all of you guys can take advantage of today before the end of the year, specifically. Donald Trump, I'm not a big supporter. I honestly don't like the man at all, but he is a real estate, mogul, and he's looking to help others that are in the real estate space be able to capitalize off of the bonuses and the timing, which is now. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the bonus, the 100% depreciation bill that he had passed back in July 4th. We're going to talk a little bit about cost segregation. We're going to talk about accelerated depreciation and just some 1031 exchanges. What is a 1031 exchange? Maybe some of you guys have heard of it, but don't really know what it is. We're going to talk about all of these things and how you yourself can capitalize off of it. So without further ado, let me go ahead and pull up the presentation. I was hurting. Okay. Lessons. So let's get back to the beginning of it. So today, what most of you guys may be wondering, what am I here for? What am I going to learn today? You guys are going to learn year-end tax strategies with Multifamily Locker Room and the movement that we're creating in the multifamily space. And we're specifically gearing and being the need that I've found over the years within the athlete space. We're filling that need of lack of true investments in education more than anything for these athletes. A lot of them don't know what they don't know. And if they knew better, I promise you they would do better. In terms of investments, many of them are waiting for 30-year returns when they can be getting 3-year returns, to 5-year returns, to 7-year returns. And so I say this all to say real estate is the most cash flowing lucrative business, as well as it being able to help you guys benefit and off of these tax depreciation, bonuses that are out there for you guys. So we're going to dive right into it without further ado. Before we do, I do want to go ahead and put on notice a couple of things. The purpose of this session is simply for educational purposes only. It's not an offer to invest. And why does this topic even matter right now? It's year-end planning window. We've got real estate deductions, which are unique versus stocks, crypto, or any business income. I've been in the crypto space is what got me into this business space and really led me here. But I'm, as you guys have seen, I've been doing crypto for some time, but the end goal has always been real estate. And what you guys are seeing now is things that have been laid out years back and years prior and that are simply coming to fruition now. So let's dive right into the presentation. My stomach is killing. Bear with me. I think I might need to go throw up some more. All right. Yeah, let me be right back. Let's take a little pause. All right, y'all, let's get it, man. I feel a little bit better. Well, we can knock this out, man. We can knock this out. So let's see. All right. Where's my face? All right, family, we'll get right into it. Give me one moment. All right, here we go. Here we go. We live. We live. We live. We live. We back at it, man. All right, so I feel like we ought to just start this fresh. So what are we here for? Here for year-end tax strategies, right? A lot of people are looking to, capitalize off of this tax season, know where to put their money to, not have to pay any taxes ultimately, right? And how the rich and the wealthy don't pay taxes, they simply invest in the real estate. So that's what we're going to cover today is how you yourself can take advantage of the exact same tax strategies that the wealthy individuals like Donald Trump, as he's filed bankruptcy, and didn't want to show his tax statements and, the whole nine, is because of understanding that the IRS is a complete foreign entity within itself, and we are not obligated to paying them anything. But you got to understand the loopholes, and the just like in the credit space, if you don't understand consumer law, well, you will not be able to remove these debts off your consumer report, and you'll wait that 7-year time frame. Well, if you do not understand the tax strategies and the advantages of you investing into real estate, you will be paying extra money to a corporation which you don't have any obligation to paying. Just like these debt collectors, you don't have any obligation to paying them anything, yet you guys are still going out and paying them. And so I say this all to say education is the most important thing. And that's what I was stating in terms of with their athletes is what, I've come to the conclusion of is that they don't know what they don't know. And if they simply knew better, they would simply do better. And I say this to say because they're all making millions of dollars as a W-2 employee, and their financial advisors are advising them to invest into investments that they're licensed with. And typically those are 30-year returns. And within those 30 years, these financial advisors are making great returns and percentages off of these individuals' money. And so we're going to talk about real estate today specifically. Why does this matter? Because we are coming to the end of the year, and this is the most, I'd say the most important window, for you guys to take advantage of you guys investing in. There's only so many limited deals as well too at this point in terms of, just out there as a whole, and really for you guys to execute and really what time many people are looking to, spend on the holidays. Well, I'd recommend that you guys go out and spend on an investment in something that can bring you guys, some tax benefits. So what are these tax benefits? We're going to dive right into them here in a second. Real estate offers deductions unavailable in traditional investments. As I mentioned, I've been in the crypto space, I've been in the stock space, and the tax advantages and this strategy that you can use with real estate you can't use with digital assets as you can use with the real hard asset. And so we're going to talk about a couple of those and why that is as such. So let me go ahead and get a charger really quick too because we are getting low. One moment. We were all over the place today. Headache was not having it. So give me 2 minutes. Alrighty, so what is cost segregation? Right, it's separating property. It's separating a property into its component parts. So, for example, things like the sidewalk, things like furniture, things like just any renovation in our business plan, all of our assets are all value add. So that's the business plan that we have, is really like fix and flip on a larger scale. Finding apartments that need renovation, that are due to, add some value to them. They haven't had anything worked on since the original build. We're finding those, we're adding value to them. The thing with and that I recommend for every single one of you guys is to have a vertically integrated, or to have a development and construction team, that you're either close with or that's within your inner circle, or go out and ultimately build one yourself. And the thing that I've been blessed and fortunate with as well to myself personally, as we're going out and currently building out our development team right now, we've partnered with a company that already has everything vertically integrated, with the property management, with the development team, and then also with the deal finding and the deal sourcing. And so with us right now in our fund, we're going out and we're still looking to acquire our developmental teams in the areas and the markets that we target. Well, I've been fortunate, what I was saying, to have connections overseas to be able to bring in these appliances back to America for a way lower price. And with us coming in, and all of them will be the same throughout every single property, and we'll be able to come in and value add just as the fund that we're helping raise capital with is doing. And so it's been really like, mentorship within, like ultimately you being able to execute at the same time as well too. And now currently with that fund, we've got 417 units under management with our fund, and our investors have came in and invested into two of the deals. And right now, and we're 2 for 2 out of the deals. We have another deal that we're actually going to be investing into as well too. And this deal has been very, hands free in terms of these tax strategies and people coming to take advantage of such. And so with the cost segregation, we got year 1 and year 2 passive losses, which can vary depending on the property vintage. So ultimately, the biggest thing with real estate is you're receiving the tax depreciation and the losses and the losses. Right? When we think of these corporations and these banks, right, they themselves have that monthly cash flow with individuals that are coming in and paying their monthly bill for their credit card or their auto loan, not understanding, knowing that it's already been credited. And then let's say one does stop paying it. Well, the moment you stop paying it, they're going to charge off that account. The moment they charge off that account, in their books, it's counted off as a loss. So they're doing the same things, just on a different scale. And most consumers are unaware of their rights to go out and take action on such, and so they're able to get away with this, and then sell this to a third party debt collector. Now that third party debt collector is coming in, collecting. So cost segregation, ultimately, the biggest things I wanted to touch upon is, as well too, right now, is the 100% tax depreciation with the Trump administration. Anything that has useful life less than 5 to 15 years will all go within the cost of segregation. And we've got accelerated depreciation. I'm just going over a couple of my notes that I've got. You guys can come here and see and read through this all for yourself. I don't want to be, robotic and just go in and give you guys this information. I want to be able to provide new information and a different perspective each week that we do go over these slides, so you guys aren't just getting the same exact information every single week. But with accelerated depreciation, it really, the name within itself says, everything. Being able to bonus. I can't even read. It's a little dark over here. Being able to bonus move the depreciation faster. And then with the bonus depreciation, I want you all to look into section 179, because with real estate, we get the best depreciation, especially with it being back at 100%. And that was passed in July 4th. You guys all can look at that. All proceeds from the sale and move to another deal, 45 days. Okay, so this is with the 1031 exchange. So for a 1031 exchange, let's say that individuals are already invested into real estate. Something that I do recommend, and I want to actually just pull up for you guys for you guys to see the power of one investing into real estate. Let's see. Let's get some water. Okay. So let's say year one, somebody came in and they invested 100K. Let's say that the return is a 2.1x return over the 5-year time frame. So 100K times 2.1. Okay, after that, we got our 100K back and we got another 100,000, 110,000. Now we're at 210. Let's say we want to not even touch this fund money. Let's say that the deal was projected to be 5 years. And let's say instead of that 5-year time frame, an institution came in and bought up our property after we went through and renovated, about 60 to 70% of the units, and they wanted to come in and renovate the rest of it. And we also already added in within that 60 to 7% of those units, also dryers and washers, which have also increased the rent. All of these things are multipliers, meaning they're raising the net operating income that we're receiving because it's increasing ultimately the value of that asset. So let's say we times that by 2.1 again. Well, let's say we roll that deal over in a 1031 exchange. Now we got, after deal two, let's say this deal took 5 years. So now after 8 years, we've got 441. We've got $300,000 net profit that we just earned from us allowing that to go ahead and roll over into the next deal. Granted, that's saying that yes, that each deal is going to be that 2.1 multiplier, equity multiplier. And let's see, we times it by 2.1 for another deal. Let's say this deal took another 2 years. Another institution came in. Well, after that 2-year time frame, that's 10 years now. Within 10 years, that 100K just turned to 926K. And that's just simply from that 100K being rolled over into other deals as well too. And if you guys have seen our system, it's a proven system that's worked time and time again. And I say this to say all of you guys ought to go out there and find systems and create systems where you guys can go out and within that 5 to 7 year time frame, be able to help investors have a return of such and be able to have other deals where they can invest into as well too. Monthly, we're actively raising capital for deals, and we'll be doing our own deals going into the next year of 2026. So I look forward to that and being able to provide our own deals for you guys outside of us, partnering with another fund, which has been a blessing and, truly the biggest blessing, honestly, just to not only come in and be able to help our people and our investors, but also to get the mentorship really and the guidance throughout it all. And, I always will pay my homage to the companies that have helped us get to this point. And I'm super grateful for such. And so let's continue with the presentation. We're going to end this here pretty soon because I am not feeling the best. So 1031 exchange. I got some notes as well too here that I wanted to cover for you guys as well. I had a whole, breakdown of this for you guys even more in depth, but honestly, I'm not feeling too hot right now. Okay. So 1031 exchange, we drop a 3 in the chat box if you guys get the concept of a 1031 exchange. It's simply just transferring over the equity from one of your investment properties into the next, is rolling it over. And you have 45 days to go ahead and find a new deal, and then I believe 180 days to go ahead and transfer over the funds. So 45 days to find a new property, 180 days with that 1031 exchange. Yeah, I don't feel good. I'm sorry for y'all tuning in. This is not the most, you know, well planned with my circumstances live that we've had or even executed, but we're here, we're showing up, we're getting it done. So the biggest thing I believe, is the timing consideration. Timing with anything and everything is the biggest thing. When it comes to investing, you want to buy low and sell high. So timing is key. And why I say that is because, you know, most people in those low times, in terms of the trend being low, are not looking to buy. A lot of them are in fear. The masses aren't typically talking about it, and typically they end up buying at a high price. When everybody's talking about it, when it's trending, when it's hot, when it's the hot topic, when it's as hot as the 6-7 and everybody's talking about it. Crypto, Bitcoin, I've heard it. People that don't know anything about crypto start talking about crypto because it's hot and trending and it hit 120K, or when it just surpassed 100K, the world was going crazy. Well, you got to truly be, educated and understand that everything, moves in cycles. And so timing is key. With the tax depreciation bill that was passed July 4th, it really just makes sense to invest into real estate, all in all. And so let's see. Okay. Here we're breaking down the 100% bonus depreciation. All right, so this bill is restoring 100% bonus depreciation, which creates a rare tax window. This is useful for high W-2 income employees. So those are my athletes, strong 1099 income, and businesses with large tax burdens. Depreciating eligible assets in year one means lower taxable income, increased after tax cash flow, and paper losses may offset passive income sources. So this is important for compliance or your. I'm reading over a whole nother section. All right. So I'll go over a couple of those pointers again. Depreciation eligible assets in year one means lower taxable income, increased after tax cash flow, and paper losses may offset passive income sources. So timing, why before December 31st? As we talked a little bit about, the property must be placed in service within the calendar year. If someone waits until January, they're going to miss out on the 2025 tax depreciation potential. It's not urgency, it's simply just IRS rules. So on page 6, let's come here to page 6. We're going to talk about entity level considerations. Structure does matter. An LLC versus a LP, or an individual versus an entity ownership. Most individuals, and I advise with this part and this, to advise with your CPA what would be best for you and your circumstance, because everybody's is going to be different in terms of what entity is investing. Is it the individual? Is it the LLC? Is it a LP? Is it, a G? What is the entity that you guys are coming in and looking to invest in and as into deals? I would once again speak with you as a CPA to advise such, but ultimately see how each one affects how losses flow through. Then let's come here to page 7, multifamily as a tax tool. So I want to walk you guys through how real estate creates a strategic advantage. Right? First and foremost, it produces passive income. It produces passive losses. So your guys' losses will, you guys will be getting passively. Can offset gains from other passive investments. And all while you guys have those losses, you guys are still getting cash flowing monthly. How nice would it be to get a monthly check? Drop a 3 in the chat box if you've gotten a monthly check where you've done absolutely nothing, but that check just kept coming in every single month, whether you were asleep all month, whether you were on an island in the Philippines or in Vietnam with me in South America or Southeast Asia, or if we're in Peru, Brazil, and South America, y'all are still gonna be getting paid. That's the power of real estate ultimately. So I always say that this positions multifamily as a wealth shield and not an investment guarantee. Uh, all right, we're gonna go ahead and finish this out. Next steps ultimately is to schedule a call. I do got our number down below. I would love to go more in depth with this with you guys. Let's go through an evaluation of your tax and investment fit. I would love to get you guys connected if you don't have a CPA with our CPA. Our CPA, he's amazing. He's out in the Austin area, and in terms of taxes, I've never met anybody that is well aware of the tax loopholes and strategies as such. And let's get you guys to go out and invest before this year ends to execute offsets. If you guys are looking for some deals on your own, come here to LoopNet and find the brokers in your guys' area. I didn't say find the deals. I didn't say find the properties in your guys' area. Find the brokers. Who are the brokers? Who are the top 2 brokers in your guys' market, in your guys' location? Let's say we want to go ahead and look into Austin. Well, let's come here to Austin, and let's come here to Austin. Oh, my stomach is hurting. I don't know what's up. Well, let's see who are the brokers. They're going to tell you the brokers. Use LoopNet. See, we got Moritz. Go to their listings. Go to their websites. Go to links listings. Go to, this is for all. Let's see. For sale. Multifamily. Okay, so we got Quest Realty, Balcones. Yeah, they all got a website where you guys can go and check out their listings. So go check out their listings. Oh, all right, man. We're out of here. Peace and love. Peace and love. Ooh.